Well, hello, I'm Pink Machine, and I am back with yet another train tutorial. This time we're covering Pennsylvania Railroad, number 460, otherwise known as the Lindbergh engine, a very fun little historic piece. Um, so basically this is an E6 class 442 Atlantic, which means it has, of course, our four leading wheels, our four drive wheels, and our two trailing wheels. It's a relatively unique arrangement because, like, that's the thing with Atlantics is they were very quickly replaced by Pacifics, but because you were able to get so much power out of this small of a wheel arrangement, um, they still stuck around for a really long time. Like the Milwaukee Road had some pretty famous Pacifics. Like these were only second to the Milwaukee Road uh, Atlantics as well, or sorry, the Milwaukee Road Atlantics, not Pacifics. Um, Yeah, very interesting. But number 460 is specifically known for pulling the Lindbergh special, or I don't know if it was the Lindbergh special, but the Lindbergh train, um, of which carried film of, I believe, this dude named Lindbergh's Landing, or after his first flight from New York to Paris, I think it was. Um, but basically, there were planes trying to fly their own film reels for different news services from Washington, D.C. to New York, right? But the issue is on the plane, you can't necessarily have a dark room to help develop the film. Whereas on the train, the Pennsylvania Railroad was able to retrofit a P-70 passenger car to uh, like as a dark room essentially, so the film would develop on the train, and then once they got to New York or Manhattan, the film was already developed, right? So despite the fact that the planes had gotten there hours earlier, right, the train still was able to develop the film faster because again, film was already developed when they arrived, whereas the planes had to first land and then have time for the film to develop. Um, yeah, pretty cool shit. But basically, this thing went really fast. It is reported that it went around 115 miles an hour. And I think it was like late 1920s. So fucking crazy for an Atlantic, a 442. But still very cool. But these were mainly used alongside the K4 Pacifics, mainly on like smaller, um, shorter routes that didn't need or like they couldn't fit like the heavier K4s or whatever. Um, like these were essentially the passenger equivalents of like say the 280 consolidations or the 080 switchers. Um, like these were just slightly smaller than the K4s, but like around the same size as like a smaller freight loco, essentially. So still very cool thing. And I will be building this for you today. Back in our workshop over here. So we're going to create our new train. We're going to hit up our standard bogey here, and we're going to throw down a pistoned, let's see what it would be. Right, it is a double axle. So it is a long, not extra long, just a long 040. I'm going to place that right there. And then, as we did with our Hudson last time, we're going to controller, there we go, station. And we're going to just go ahead and right-click the track there to enlarge the bogey and then assemble it. And so there we have our representation for our wheel arrangement. Blech. We're down here to single styles. We're going to go down here to our small 020 trailing bogey. And then replace that just right down there. Because specifically right here is the proper length for that, I believe. And then I believe the cab goes over the trailing bogey, so then we just do this and then this. Okay, so that's the cab. Then we're going to do, this is the cab board behind, and this is where the tender would start. So we're going to grab our passenger bogies for that. There we go. Then I think we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, there. Let me make sure this is accurate. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now on here I do have the freight bogies. That is only because I did essentially just copy the K4's tender over to here and just forgot to change the bogies out. But yeah. Then we're going to go and grab the frame for our logo. So we're going to need these black steel tanks, or sorry, these gray steel tanks and these gray corrugated steels, as well as this metal girder. And we're going to grab this shaft right here with a bracket. So I'm going to place tanks on either side here, corrugated, tank, tanks on either side here, and corrugated, and then tank. Then here, we're going to place tanks on either side of these bogies to reinforce them. We're going to place girders all in between, and then place our shaft with our bracket facing down, which is our tender connection. Okay, now we get to do our cylinders, which are very simple. So we're going to grab a square pillar with some stacked half layers. We're going to grab these slabs, more stacked half layers. That should be about it for that. So we're going to place square pillar sideways, sideways. Our stacked half layers. Of course, it's going to be a vertical scorchia pillar and then a single layered scorchia. Same thing for the other side. Then we're going to place our slabs. These are stacked slabs. So we've got our layered scorchia on the bottom, and then our outward-facing diagonal metal support. And then, of course, we want to make sure that these are facing opposite directions. And we're going to place our copycat layers up here as well, or our half layers alongside our half block layers. And there we go. Now we're going to go and get into the valve gear, of which we are going to need simply an andesite scaffolding, some copycat slices, and such. So, scaffolding, slice, 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 slice. I'm going to place our shaft right here. We're going to place our half panel here, and then a bite panel here. Now we're not going to do a lower half of the crosshead because the E6 only has the top slider, essentially. I'm going to place scaffolding here, here, here. Essentially repeating the same thing to the other side because this is symmetrical. Place our shaft and bracket. We're going to do our bite panel down here, and then we're going to do our half panel alongside there. And make sure that this one does have an andesite alloy block inside. And there you go. Now we get to go ahead and do our frame top, which we are going to need simply some gray copycat slab, or sorry, some gray riveted pillar copycat slabs for local metal. But we're also going to place our smokebox saddle right here, which that's just a vertical gray steel tank. We're going to place top of our frame up to about, hold on, there. I think it's to there, but we may have to delete one of those blocks later. We'll see. Then we're going to go and do the bottom half of the firebox, of which that's going to go up to the rear drive wheel. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So above the trailing wheel, this block as well, and then half this block as well. These are all, of course, industrial iron plating. Okay. Delete that actually. And there's that. Now we're going to go and start on the cab, of which we're going to need some black / loco metal, some stacked half layers, some copycat layers, slices, and then that should be good, but we are actually going to grab the back of the cab as well and start on that. So we're going to place some filler blocks in here. So we're going to place 2 black / loco metals, or sorry, no, that is the tender. That is not where that goes. We're going to place 2 black / loco metals, and we're going to place our filler blocks on top over here. So then all we need are our copycat stacked half layers. Of course, these are going to have these layered scorchias, and then these black / loco metals. And then in here, we're going to place our copycat layers, of course, with our vertical, I think these are the Mangrove paned windows from Rechiseled Create. Same thing on the other side, as well as our slices on top of that. And the back of our cab is going to be these vertical half layers, of which are going to be essentially, interesting. That's going to be another one of the paned mangrove windows, and then the lower half is going to be this sideways scorchia pillar. Same with the other side. Make sure I got that right. No, I think I just grabbed one. That's fine. But we're going to go and delete those, place our mangrove window panes, and then we're going to rotate them in the copycat until we get them quite right. All right, and then now we get to do our cab roof. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, this. Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. This is with mangrove beams from decorative blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then as well 1, 2, 3. That's 4. So the mangrove beams are going to go up to layer 4, and then we're going to have these half layers going with this is layered scorchia as well. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A slab with a single mangrove plank, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then same thing for right here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And thankfully we don't have to use our bites and steps back here. We can simply just do a full block overhang. Okay, now we get to do our cab detailing and our backhead. So backhead is going to be bite, 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 bite. And then we're going to need our controller and a blast furnace. So blast furnace goes here. Put a controller on top of that. And then for our first set of bites, we're going to do, these are, I believe, sideways mangrove window panes, also from Rechiseled Create. But these are specifically the connected textures ones, so these are facing towards each other so they connect. Then aside from that, we're going to do the black slash locometal, do the same thing on the other side. And below that, we're going to do simply just, that is a bit of layered scorchia, that is a bit of plated black locometal. Then we're going to do our industrial iron plating right here. And then we do one block out, so we're going to go 1, 2, also with industrial iron plating. And then same thing on here. Same thing on the other side over here. 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. Make sure to hydrate. So, now we get to do a set of controls right here. And we're going to grab a blaze burner. Oof. Throat's a little dry. And then we're going to grab our industrial iron trapdoor, our red seat. It doesn't have to be red, but just a seat. Then grab blaze burner down there, or place a blaze burner right there. And then our industrial iron trapdoor right there. All right. Now the reason that we're having a larger backhead is because the firebox does extend under the trailing wheel right here, so it's going to be slightly longer. And yeah. All right. So then from there we get to go ahead and do the boiler. And so we're going to first do, what do we want to do first? These layered scorchias, these bites, and then these bites as well. And do the running board too. Sure. Okay. So we're going to need 1, 2, I believe 3 of those. Nope. 2 layered scorchias up top. We're going to grab these copycat bites, of which the entire top half is going to be layered scorchias. And below that, we're going to do these sideways scorchia pillars. And below that, we're going to do more scorchia pillars, as well as these bits of black plated locometal along the side here. So it's basically like a stair shape. So upper right is the sideways scorchia pillars, and then the bottom entire row is this black plated locometal. And same thing with over here, we're continuing the side of the cab with the running board, doing more layered scorchia. All right, and then for the other side, we're going to go ahead and have to grab more blocks from here. So bite, bite, side. 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. And there we go. And from there, we're going to go ahead and do our whistle and our tank. Whistle, there we are. So tank in front of the controls, and then a whistle on top. I'm going to set that as just a single medium whistle right there. Again, for somewhat of accuracy's sake. On the side of the cab here, on both sides actually, we do have this 3-length wide reservoir, of which actually, we're going to format this differently. So we're going to do tank here, then whistle in front, so that way we have room. There we go. So this way we can then do these slabs, essentially. So we can mimic the firebox and do 2 industrial iron platings there, and then an industrial iron set of sheets sideways. Then we do our pipes. 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure our brackets are facing towards the boiler, not upward, not to the outside or whatever. This is so that we hide the fact that the firebox is being eaten into a little bit, because this obviously juts out. There's a huge gap right here, and yeah. But we're trying to hide that as best as possible. All right, so that is that. Then for this we have to do... So the firebox also does a weird shape where we've got more bytes. So we're doing another strange stair thing where we've got a single byte of a copycat layer, or sorry, of a Scorchia layer. Layered Scorchia, that's what it's called, not a... Anyways, a single layered Scorchia and a copycat byte right here. Then we've got down here simply just more Scorchia, and we're going to do more Scorchia pillars out here as well. There we go. Then we're going to do our pillared Scorchia, and then do the same thing here. Where essentially we've got bytes. Okay. I will explain just a second. So we've got more bytes. So the top right is going to be Scorchia pillars facing towards us. The bottom left is going to be our black plated locometal. And then over here, we have to the side layered Scorchia, and then 2 bytes of Scorchia pillar, essentially. Same on the other side. But the idea is essentially that the firebox goes diagonally up here, as it does on most PRR designs. I don't have a good way to represent that properly here. I could try to kind of remove those, but I think I'm just going to keep this as is, because I think it looks more or less fine. Then we're going to go ahead and do the rest of our boiler and our running board. So we're going to grab these black locometal boilers and these copycat bytes. And while we're here, we may as well grab the redstone relay, of which is our safety valves. So that's going to go right there. And then we're going to grab these 3 boilers. Yes, it is 3 boilers. And these bytes as well go. Where did I put these bytes again? That's not meant to be bytes. Those are steps. I'm not sure why those show up as bytes. Step. Boop. Okay. We're going to grab a candle for our whistle. We're going to grab these copycat layers with Scorchia. And then up here, we're going to grab these slices and these steps. Okay. So we've got a Scorchia pillar with layer 1, 2, 3 on top of it. And over here, we've got another Scorchia pillar, and then 1, 2, 3. We're going to do this 1, 2, 3 slice, 1, 2, 3 slice. And below that, we're going to do step and step with layered Scorchia. Behind here, we're going to do a single whistle, our candle, and then we're going to do our steps alongside the boiler on hold on. We have to actually place one, so 1, 2, 3. Same on the other side of 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're going to, again, continue our running board. 1, 2, 3. Continue our black plated locometal. 1, 2, 3. I will reiterate that the black plated locometal looks very different in the current version of Steam and Rails, and you may want to use something else that doesn't look as jarring. Okay. Now we get to do these Scorchia pillars with copycat bytes essentially. And then we're going to do our gray steel boiler, and then these 2 half layers right here. So we're going to do pillar, pillar, byte, 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 and then do these copycat bytes down here for the running board. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, black plated, and then just simply Scorchia pillars, except this should also be a step, so we're going to grab that and just throw a copycat step in there. And there we go. Now for our smoke box, we're going to grab 2 gray steel boilers and place them towards the boiler like that. Going to grab a single step. Oh, come on. No, it's not a step actually. It's half layer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Another gray steel boiler in there. And to the side of that, we're going to do 1, 2, 3 on this bracket. Same thing on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Nice. From there, we're going to do our gray pipe, which is going to need a bracket inside. Oh, come on. There we are. Okay, and yeah. Now we're going to grab our smoke box door and our smokestack. And then we're going to grab this black toolbox right here and this industrial iron catwalk stair, as well as a industrial iron catwalk railing. So our railings are going to go, or sorry, our stairs are going to go there. Our railings are going to go towards the inside. Our smokestack on top, our door on front, and then our pipes on either side over here with our brackets, of course, facing towards the smoke box. Then we're going to do stacked half layers with layered scorchia on 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. And then we're actually going to remove our door to put the toolbox facing backwards here. Replace the door, and then now we get to do the pilot, of which the pilot is going to be bite, 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 with our headstock here and a slice, as well as these marker lights. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Break this block, go down, also break that block. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So throw that in right there, and then throw our marker lights on top, and then throw our slice in the middle here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay, so let's break this down real quick. We've got our sideways gray smoke boxes right here. Below that, we've got our industrial iron boilers. Then to the side of that, we've got our metal supports, our diagonal ones. Then below that, we've got our deep slate corner trims from Handcrafted. And then here we've got our sideways industrial iron supports. And then same thing on the other side. In this knuckle coupler with the headstock, we've got a gray slash loco metal, as well as the knuckle coupler on the front. And then a few Pennsylvania Railroad locomotives, mainly the smaller ones, did have marker lights on top of the running board as well as on top of the smoke box. I'm not entirely sure what that's meant to represent, but they are there. So we are going to represent them. And then just as a little garnish, we're going to add our bite panels with gray loco metal inside on either side here. And then we're going to grab these corner slices and do 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that is most of our locomotive done. Now all we have to do is the running board decorations, of which we're going to need these gray stacked, or these industrial iron stacked half layers, these slices alongside this corner slice, and my air compressor. So for the left-hand side, so with trains I usually assume that you're looking at it from the back, because you'd be in the cab. So this is the left-hand side. So we're going to break this step, and we're going to place our air compressor in there. We're going to do copycat slices all the way along here, up until the air compressor, and we're going to wrap that around with a corner slice. Then with our stacked half layers, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, hold on. We're going to have to place some filler blocks in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right. Then all we have left to do is extend the frame upwards slightly with these industrial iron supports. 1 and 2. And then we're going to do 1 in the middle here. And then there we go. That's all we needed to do for our locomotive. I am going to go and grab the number real quick. And 460 and 460. Nice. It's also fun to note that a few of these, I believe, were lended to the Pennsylvania Railroad subsidiary. which was the Long Island Railroad. Um, yeah, operated on Long Island. Very cool. I believe there's still a preserved Pennsylvania Railroad's 460 that is currently being restored as well. Um, yeah, or 460, a 10-wheeler, yes. All right, and now we get to start on our tender. Starting, of course, with the board back here. Of course, we're going to need our black ladders, this copycat pipe, or not pipe, our gray fluid pipe with a bracket facing upward, these copycat panels, and yeah. So we're going to place the panels above here, or yes, above here. Place our pipe facing outwards, again, bracket facing up, and then we're going to place our ladders. I'm going to place our slices behind these ladders. We can also do this. 1, 2. There we go. All right. So to start on the tender, we're going to grab our black slash locometal, and we're going to grab these copycat stacked half layers, and this Scorchia slash locometal, and grab the rest of our frame. Why not? So we'll grab this, this, and this. Okay. So we also need the copycat slabs that go under here, which I'm going to go back over here and grab those too. Boop. Nice. So we're going to go slab for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks using the placement helpers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, using the black locometal in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the center here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do our Scorchia slash locometal behind here too. Then we're going to use this as filler blocks to finish out this bit. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Of course, adding a center line in here for the layered Scorchia, and then we're coming back with the black slash locometal. Same for the other side, of course. Actually, we should probably we'll leave those there as filler. Why not? Then we're going to go and do our layers there and there. Actually, these are specifically layers with sideways Scorchia inside. And we're going to mimic that for the... hold on. How is this done? Yeah, okay. So we need you... Oh, come on. Really? That's not right. There we go. And then we do our layered Scorchia half layers right here. And then we're going to break that and throw in some sideways Scorchia pillars. Or just a single one, rather. Same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then throw in the pillar, and then do 2 filler blocks, and then do our layers there. I'm going to break these filler blocks, and we're going to place these, or just place a full row of black slash locometal here. Okay, and we are going to make sure that's accurate. Nope. In fact, down there is Scorchia. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Place that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Nice. So from here, we get to do the top of the tender, which is of course going to be a single half layer. Now I did find a photo of a E6 Atlantic from the rear. It's the only one that I was able to find from the rear, but basically the coal bed is so small that they had overfilled it and it had spilled out over on top of the water tank. So for the hell of it, we're going to represent that because I think it's a fun, quirky little trait. But all we're going to need are just some half layers up here. So then we're going to grab a portable fuel interface as well as a fuel tank. And we're going to grab some barrels as well. And we're going to just fill out the entire top over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to do, say specifically how many I'm supposed to do. let's see if we can fit in 14 barrels and 12 tanks, potentially. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was 14 barrels, so 12, 13, 14, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is 14, so we just do 12, do that, and then that should be good, actually. Yeah, okay, we're going to say that's good. Place our interface in the center here. No, hold on. Make sure that's accurate. I think it's actually towards the back block, and it is. Okay, so this is actually going to go right here, and then grab our interface for our fuel and place that right. Well, actually, we need to place a block to place that off of, and so we're going to place that there, place that there. Okay. Next, we get to do the top of the tender, as I did say already previously. But that is going to look like some copycat half layers, some more half layers, some... Why did I remove that interface? That was interesting. We got a mangrove trapdoor. Did I place the mangrove trapdoor on the roof actually over here? I did. Okay. I want to make sure because I don't think I did acknowledge that specifically. Alright. And then from there, we're just going to need this half layer and then these half layers. So here's what we do. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of copycat layers with our layered scorchia. I'm going to do 1, 2, 1, sorry, 1, 2, 1, 2 with planks on either side and the beam in the middle. We're going to do our trapdoor over the interface. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then over here, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, of course, this being a coal bed, you are free to make this as randomized and as strange looking as you would like. Then over here, we're going to do, this is the actual back of the coal bed, is what this is meant to represent. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, of course, because the coal is spilled over, we're going to place that right there. And then just kind of spam our layers, of course, over here. But we do generally want to make them look like they are going towards the back with our spilled coal bed. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to do a little bit of adjusting, although make sure it's not too organic looking. And yeah, that should be about good. And then we get to do the front of our tender cab, or the tender portion of our cab, which that is going to be some bites. So we're going to do, well, actually, it's going to be some bites and half layers. So half layer, bite, bite, train controls, but basically the same thing as our K4. So we're going to go over here, place our controls in the middle, and then we're going to place some Scorchia pillars facing towards us in bites, and then in front of that, we're going to place, these are 2 detailed mangrove planks from Chipped, I believe it is. Yes, and to the side of that, more of the Scorchia pillars. Same thing over here. I'm going to grab 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1 for our mangrove beams in our half layers. And from there, we get to do the side of the top of the tender frame, which that's just going to be all sideways mangrove pillars. Or not mangrove, Scorchia pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there is the bulk of your tender. I'm going to go and start on the back here with the iron catwalks, the iron railings, the copycat ladders with industrial iron inside, and of course the copycat headstock with the, or I think we'll just do a knuckle coupler here. With the single knuckle coupler, not the split one, the knuckle coupler. Then we'll do the slices and corner slices. Okay, so we're going to do our iron catwalks on either side here. We're also going to do a set of controls. Controller down here. Then we're going to do our copycat ladders with industrial iron ladders inside down here. Throw our railings outside of this block. We're not going to throw them on the block. We're going to throw them outside. That way, we can place our vertical slices and our corner slices. There we go. And we're going to place the same railing here, place our knuckle coupler there, and that should be it for our rear balcony. And then from there, we get to do our headlamp, our marker lights, our Scorchia locomotive ladders, our PRR, our sign, and then our little button down here. So that's going to be a copycat wooden button with a bit of, I believe, Scorchia locometal inside. Our PRR in our placard here. Our lamp, marker light, and then ladders on the left side, and then our sign, I believe, just below the PRR lettering. Okay, and then that should be about it, aside from the side lettering and the gluing. So, pens, Yolvain, yeah. Of course, this going in the center, this going, oh, hold on, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. There we go. Oh, hold on, there. All right, and that is our entire locomotive in just about 35, 36 minutes. Not bad. Now we're going to go ahead and glue the thing. Here we are. Okay, so we're going to disassemble this bogie here, delete this controller block, and place our gray steel tank right there. And we're going to grab this corrugated steel and glue it up to this corrugated steel, but up to the boiler. Then we're going to glue our entire pilot together from this slice corner up here down to this filler block. Then from the front of the pilot, we're going to glue the entire side together up to these stacked half layers. Boop. Boop. And glue the entire top of the boiler together as well. So that means gluing from this corner down here up to this slice. Okay. Did that not glue? That seemed to not have worked. Interesting. I'm going to assume that's because there's no anchor block, so we're going to go here to here. Yes, okay, that worked. Yay. Then we're going to glue the back of the cab over here, of which to do that, we're actually going to place these slices here, because we forgot those earlier. There we go. But I think alongside that, we're actually going to glue the back of the cab, and not just the cab roof. But we do need to kind of... Okay. I am screwing this up here. We need to grab some slices with some black look metal inside to place in the corners here to round off the cab. And so that way we can simply go slice to glue the roof on. Next we're going to glue these ladders to the tender. And then we're going to glue the entire tender as one box by going from here down to here. Perfect. Do you want to make sure I actually did glue the ladders to the tender? Yes, I did. Alright, well that should be good. We're going to go into assemble the train, place our rail up here, and then we're going to hop in and see how it goes. Flip it backward. Oh, that didn't glue for some reason. That's interesting. Why did it not do that? Ah, I see. Right, because we put the boogie block in the wrong place. That is entirely my bad. So then we're going to use this to assemble the train. And then place the braille there. Hop in here, and hopefully this works. Yes, lovely. Absolutely amazing. And that is actually the right track. Let's go. We're just going to back down in front of our mohawk here. And And there we are. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Yeah. All right, well, that is our E6 Atlantic. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. And I will see you again soon, likely. So, yeah, bye.